we're naming captains today, it's David Pastrnak for me. It's not even a question, actually. It's just a statement. It's David Pastrnak. David Pastrnak should be the captain of the Boston Bruins. He absolutely should be. You've heard Bob Beers talk about it. You've heard Ryan Johnston talk about it. The way that he's carried himself, the way that he's played, when he's had every reason to stop trying, to stop caring. Like, he should be the guy. It should be him. And I understand, like, they really don't have a lot of options. It feels like it's McAvoy or Pastrnak. I don't think it's a guy like Zadorov. I don't think it's a guy like Elias Lindholm. You know, they traded away their safe captain picks. You know, they're your non-sexy potential guys if Marchand left. I always said, like, if Marchand walks away or retires or whatever happens this season, the non-sexy options that you go, yeah, sure, whatever, would be Charlie Coyle and Brandon Carlo. Well, they traded both those guys, you know? And so now it's going to be Pastrnak or McAvoy. And I think right now, it's David Pastrnak. I'm not worried about wearing a letter taken away from what he does as a scorer. I think that the league is full of guys now that wear the C and score at a high rate. I don't think it'd weigh him down. But here's the biggest reason why I'm making David Pastrnak the captain above along with everything else we've said. Availability. He doesn't miss games. He's about to play his third straight season of 82 games. That matters to me. And that should matter to you. I don't think you can have a captain who is in and out of your lineup. That's not a knock on Charlie McAvoy. He plays a brand of hockey that will get him hurt. It is what it is. But David Pastrnak, last 4 seasons, 72 games, 82 games, 82 games, and right now he's 80 for 80. That's important. I think having a captain who is going to be available beyond media sessions and beyond, you know, leading on the ice or or in the locker room rather, you got to have a guy who's available on the ice. You know, and I love Charlie McAvoy. I love what he can do as a 3-zone threat in a league where a lot of the high-end defensemen are more one-dimensional. But here's Charlie McAvoy the last 3 seasons. 67 games, 74 games, 50 games. Not holding it against them, but that's quite a bit of missed time. And it's hard to be the captain when you're in the press box or in the trainer's room rehabbing an injury. It's part of his game because of how he plays. But availability matters. It just matters. I think David Pastrnak, beyond the performance, beyond the way that he's carried himself, like I just think that is an important factor when you make this kind of decision. And it might come down to who wants it. Maybe Pastrnak doesn't want it. Maybe he's like, nah, I'm cool being whatever. That is what you ultimately hope for. I think you ultimately hope for it not becoming a Ryan O'Reilly, Gabriel Landeskog situation like in Colorado where O'Reilly wants to see, doesn't get it, Landeskog gets it, and then O'Reilly's like, I want out. I don't want to be here. That's what you want to avoid. But if I were making that decision today, it would be David Pastrnak for me. That's just how I feel about it. Curious what you guys think about it. 617-779-0985. The captaincy is probably like the least important. I shouldn't say that, but it's not as important as building a better roster because this roster is not good enough to compete beyond this year. You know, I think it was Steve and Stoneham, and maybe Mark and Medford, I can't remember who mentioned it, but Cole Koepke being, you know, one of your better wingers in terms of scoring. Like, he's out there. They're trying to chase the game. They're trying to score a goal with their net empty on Thursday night, and Cole Koepke's out there. It's not a knock on Cole Koepke, but he shouldn't be out there. That's a fourth-line energy guy who plays with pace and blitzes opponents, and you know, when he scores, it's a bonus. When you're throwing him out there in a 6-on-4, 6-on-5, you're kind of like, what are we doing here? Like, that's kind of where the Bruins have been this year. They went too far in a direction that they are now working their way out of. But the roster needs dramatic improvement. But in terms of the captain, I'm landing on 88. And I think it was Kevin Paul DuPont wrote that column last week, and I completely agree. I just agree. But for me, it's about availability. It's about playing in games. Because this team is going to need guys that can lead the charge on the ice. And Pasternak's on the ice. He's up there with the league's best in terms of being available. So that's where I would go. Rusty in Woburn. Rusty, what's up?
Ty, listen, I listen to the show because my XM doesn't work sometimes, but listen to you and Ryan Johnson fillet this team drives me up a wall, and I'm a season ticket holder.
Rusty, I'm so tired of you calling and telling me that you don't like my opinions. Just get to the point. What's on your mind today?
I am. I'm doing. Okay, here's my point. I love it because this is what I mean. I'm a season ticket holder. Saw a ticket increase. And what have you won with Pastrnak? Zero. Nothing. What have you won with Swayman? Nothing. Going nowhere. And you're telling about Pastrnak, this, that, and the other thing. Well, why don't you actually watch the games? You know what? He scores. That's about.
I'm done with Rusty. I don't. So stop calling. You don't like the show? Stop listening. Stop calling. Every time he calls, I don't agree with this. Okay. I don't like how you do this. Okay. Watch the games. You're gonna blame David Pastrnak for this team right now? David Pastrnak, who you're gonna blame? You're gonna blame David Pastrnak for where this team is right now. The only guy over 55 points. That's who we're going to blame? How about you watch the game, Rusty? You want to blame Swayman? I'm on board. He hasn't been good this year. He's been good, and then he's sucked. He's stunk. He made 0 third-period saves on Thursday night. Not a good game for him. David Pastrnak? That's who we're going to blame? They've won nothing because of David Pastrnak? No, that's wrong, Rusty. You're wrong. In 2023, in Game 6, he's the hero. Until Linus Ullmark can't make a save and Connor Clifton gives the puck to the other team, he's your Game 6 hero. Game 7, he's your Game 7 hero. But what happens? Jeremy Swayman gives up a goal with about a minute left, goes off a shin pad of Charlie McAvoy. That's how they lose that game. Then they lose in overtime. David Pastrnak is not why you suck. David Pastrnak is the only reason you're not Chicago or San Jose right now.
David Pastrnak's also the reason why you beat Toronto last year in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, if you position this conversation so that it's only like it has to be on David Pastrnak to win a Stanley Cup, well then your argument's going to be right forever. You're right, Rusty. If they don't win a Stanley Cup and David Pastrnak's on the roster, I guess it's his fault. Forget the fact that he has 102 points on a team that can't score, can barely shoot the puck some nights. No, that's why they suck. Is one of I think the only player in the league who scored 65 on 5 points this year is David Pastrnak. The first to do it. On this roster. On this trash roster. The only guy to get there. The only guy to get there in the NHL this year. In a league that has Nathan McKinnon, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. Go down the list. No, that's why they suck. Okay. You watch the games.